standing. All right, welcome to our 8:30 a.m. Saturday practice. I'm going to adjust my camera ever so slightly. This is Ashley's Yoga Studio, and I am Ashley Hagen, so I'll be leading you through this practice. It's about an hour long, and we're going to go through some sun salutations, some standing poses, some breath, and some just movement. So let's get our bodies going. All right, so we start standing with your feet wherever comfortable. Usually it's big toes touching or slightly apart, that's up to you. But somewhere comfortable. We won't stand for too long. Early morning standing for too long is a little bit discombobulating. So just to stand for a moment to check in with our breath, take your hands at your heart and press them together. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. So we'll find this breath is very fluid in and out. So you've got a slight constriction in the back of your throat. Create some heat, some sound. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama, or breath pranayama, breath of victory. Send that air, that inhale down the belly, filling the lungs like a balloon, all directions. And then allow every ounce of air out. And maintain this breath throughout our practice. It might be faster or slower than what I'm doing or what I'm saying or cueing, but that's okay. As long as you're breathing deep, the inhale, the exhale, similar duration, trying to slow down that exhale, then you're good to go. And we'll bookend our practice with an Om, the sound of nature, sound of the universe, as a way to enter our practice space. So at first, take a deep breath in and let it go. Exhale. Next one for our sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Awesome. Let's take our hands by the sides of our body, called Samastitihi, or standing at attention. And we step to the top of our mats, if you weren't there already. Palms face forward, and we get started with our sun salutation A to begin our movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open those arms, diving down. Forward fold. Put a little bend in the knees, it's early. Half lift, take the hands, press them on the shins and lengthen the back, like actively press into the hands. Exhale as you plant the hands down. First one's a little slower. Walk the feet back. No need to get too crazy with this first one. So we're in plank pose. You could take the knees down if you find that breath choppy, body feeling a little sore, or keep them lifted. As you lower, shift the body forward, so push into the toes and lower shoulders in line with elbows no lower. Press the heart forward, up dog, roll the shoulders back. Knees lifted by drawing in the core, the abs. And then look down, press into the hands. Use your core strength to lift you up and back. Down dog, flip over the feet. And here we are for 5 breaths. That was our slow sun A with more description. 5 breaths in down dog. The first one, it might be nice to pedal the feet a couple times. And then the next few, we'll find some stillness. Take 2 more deep breaths. And as you exhale on that number 5, bend the knees, step or hop forward. Maybe first one's a few steps to get to the top. Half lift, again, pressing into the shins. Lengthen the back, crown of the head. Exhale, fold it down. Rising up, arms out and up, rise. Re-unhinge from the hips. Hands up. And hands can either come to your heart or down by your side. I like the sides. That's back to Samastitihi. Tadasana or mountain pose, same thing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open arms, dive down, forward fold. Half lift, inhale, fingers on the shins or the floor. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, lowering to chaturanga right away, shifting the shoulders forward as you descend. Up dog, inhale, lifting heart. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, step or hop to the top. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms open, reach up. Exhale, let it go, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach out and up. Connect the hands, look up, maybe a little back bend as you lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. It's our last sun salutation A. Half lift, inhale. Plant the hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga. Shifting forward, looking forward, lower down. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. So turn those heels just slightly out. So you don't want to see them on the insides of the toes or the insides of the feet. Turn them slightly out so they're hidden behind. Press through the L shape of the index finger and thumb. And know that anytime that down dog is not helping your breath, or your breath gets lost, or just not feeling it, just take it down to the knees and sit back in child's pose. That's a great place to vary or modify or adjust your down dog. All right, one more deep breath. Bend the knees as you exhale, step or hop to finish the exhale forward. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rising up tall, inhale, reach up. Hands down by your side. Sun salutation B, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, sit the hips back, arms circle out and up. Connect the hands, look at the thumbs. Exhale, hands flat, slide through the heart as you fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step back, heading to chaturanga right away. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We'll do an extra breath here for this first one. Deep breath in. Step the right foot forward in between the hands in that direction. Back heel spins down, arms open, we rise up, pause. Warrior 1. Soften the shoulders, connect the hands, look up and reach the thumbs back. This exhale brings you down to the floor. Step it back, back heel lifts, right foot slips back, pause. Lower down, exhale. Up dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Pause again, take an inhale, pressing those heels down. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Right heel spins down, rise up, connect those hands. Warrior 1. Look up, soft shoulders. Inhale, press the thumbs back, little back bend. Exhale, hands to the floor. Back heel up, step back. No sound if you can. Inhale, shift forward, high on the toes. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. So we're warming up our bodies. 5 breaths in our down dog. And 1. And if we were in person, I'd be coming around and pressing on your backs and using the strap to help you get a little bit deeper in this pose. Let's say that's number 3. 4. And 5. Bend the knees. Let's take it forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bent knees, chair pose, Utkatasana, reach up. And then let it go, standing tall. Bend the knees, reach out and up. Chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Keep exhaling. This time we'll step the right foot forward right away between the hands. Back heel spins down. One breath. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Exhale to the ground. Step it back, plank to chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, heart lifts, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Warrior one. Take it down. Step back, chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. And that will be our last one for our sun salutations today, but we still have our 5 breaths. 1. 2, tuck the chin so you're looking at your knees or your belly. 3. 4. And 5. Step or hop forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, sit back, bend the knees, reach up. And let it all go. Now we take our feet hip distance apart, hands on your waist, jump, hip distance, I'll face you. Take a deep breath in. Peace sign fingers, grab the big toes as you fold down. Take a half lift again, grabbing those toes. Bend the elbows and pull yourself down and through. So you'll start with a little bend in the knees, and in time, in breath, slowly starting to straighten. So feeling that activation in the legs, separating the feet a little by pressing through the outer edge. So it's a stretch and a strength. Same with many of the poses. Very active poses in this practice. Okay, releasing that, take a half lift. Fingertips can go on the ground. Exhale, slide the hands up underneath the feet. As you pull down, bend the elbows. And then release the hands from the feet. Lift up halfway, a little bend in the knees. Take those hands on your hips. And to rise up, inhale, lift, and jump or step the feet together. Now we're going into our stepping back series, that's what I'll call it. Take the right foot back. Triangle pose to the back. So turn the right foot, left heel far from you, reach long with the right arm, and take that right hand down. And on video, it might, I might look like I'm doing my other side, but try to listen in and hear my verbal cues. So the right hand is down. You might grab the big toe of the foot, use a block, or your leg. Keep lengthening and reaching up. Fingertips together, blade hands, keeping that energy in one straight line. Look up towards the left thumb, or if that bothers your neck, look down. And we'll switch it here. Take an inhale, lift, and pivot just on the heels. So the hips turn a little bit to the diagonal of the mat, reach long in the left hand, lengthen through both sides of the waist, triangle pose, other side. Try to get less weight in that left hand. So not about jumping down or pressing into the left hand. It's actually quite light. So you feel the core strength and the leg strength. Start to hold your body up. Press the chest back towards the back of the body. Heading to our twisted, our revolved triangle. Bend in that left knee just a little, lift up. We're gonna pivot to the back again. So the right toes face the back of the mat. Left hand reaches towards that back and step in a little, making sure those hips are squared. Reach long. Left hand comes down anywhere. It could be on the leg, to the left, or even to the right of the foot. Reach up with that right arm, or take the hand to the hip. A lot of variation here, just depending on your breath. So notice if you're feeling choppy, distracted, or if we can hold here and be present and mindful. Switching sides, inhale, lift up. I always bend that knee that was down, bend the knee a little bit to lift up, then pivot to the other side. And stepping in or out to the side a bit with the feet, so they're separated. Right hand reaches as you lengthen through the body from tailbone to crown of the head. We take that hand down. Turn towards the left side, look up towards the left hand. Good, rising back up, inhale. So you might not be holding these for a full 5 breaths, but that's okay. That's okay. And step back to the top of the mat. Take an inhale and an exhale. Step that right foot back again. A little wider this time. Turn the right toes up to the back of the mat. Bend the knee, warrior stance. Open the arms, reach long. Take that either elbow to the thigh or hand to the outside of the foot. Left arm reaches up, or you can extend it. Palm facing down, this internal rotation of the arm. Soften the shoulders, look up towards the left hand. Side angle, or variation of side angle. And just breathe. That's what we do. Switching sides, we lift back up. You can press into that knee to help. Pivot to the other side. Bend the left knee, hips are open. Reach long at first. Elbow to thigh or to the outside of that left foot. Right arm reaching up or extended. Keeping a straight line. So avoiding this hip bump and keeping that down. Press through the right side blade edge of that right foot. And keep reaching. Can you find more length and yet more softness in the shoulders and the face? Okay, rising back up, inhale, lift up. Pivot to the back again, this time taking the left knee down. We start with the knee down. Left elbow hooks across the right leg for a twist. You can keep the hands in prayer, pressing, or we can open them. So there's a lot of variation into this twist. So start lower and work your way up. So the back toes might tuck under. You might open the arms. We could do a revolve side angle version, arm extended, back heel down, or staying in that twist that works for you this morning. Breathe deeper here. It can be easy to get choppy with the breath or a little bit short. Let's see if we can find more depth, more length. And then we rise up out of this. So you can help yourself up, open, always meeting that star position, and then to the other side. Back knee comes down, right elbow hooks over that left leg. Twist to the other side. Press down through that top hand, or start to open the arms, maybe lifting that back heel or back knee. It's a good stretch out for the back too. There's a lot going on here. You're rising back up. Take your time doing that so we don't rush out of anything. I've actually pulled a hamstring that way. Okay, step your feet back to the top of the mat. I'll show you guys later how that happened. Not in this class. All right, so feet back to the top of the mat. You can do it again. Step the right foot out wide. Open the arms. Toes parallel, feet parallel to each other. Take your hands on your hips. Roll those shoulders back, look up, and fold it down, wide forward fold. Hands to the ground, in line with your feet. Take a deep breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold a little bit lower. And pause. If your forehead or your head touches down on the ground, keep it light. So we're not getting into headstand in this practice. We want to activate more through those legs. If you find that you're extra stretchy, you might want to heel toe the feet closer together. Little less so, either separating those feet or having blocks underneath the hands. Right, lift halfway, take an inhale. Little bend in the knees, preparing to rise, hands on the hips. Exhale, inhale, rise up. Exhale, pause. Open those arms, inhale. Exhale, hands on your hips, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the hands on the waist or the low back, the hips, squeezing those shoulders and elbows together behind you. Version B. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide forward fold. Okay, rising up, inhale, moving on. Exhale, pause. Open those arms wide. Interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, exhale, press down. Inhale, now we lift the heart. The exhale sends us back down for version C. We've got 4 of them. So we've got C and D left. Hands can be interlaced, grabbing the wrists, wrapping up to the top, or possibly one day touching the floor behind or in front of your head. And each day is going to be a little bit different. So I have actually gotten to the place where my hands touch the ground, but I'm nowhere near that right now. So it's going to vary and fluctuate. Just honor your body and the place it's at right now. Rising back up, little bend in the knees, lift up. No arm expansion. Let's take the hands on your hips, on your waist. Inhale. Last one, use your peace sign fingers to grab your big toes as you fold down. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, take it down, bend the elbows, and keep your thumbs off the floor. The thumbs do not press into the ground. Instead, they just kind of tuck into the hand. Use your bicep strength to get you down. Okay, release the toes, lift halfway. Exhale, hands on your hips, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, rise. Oh, the hamstrings. All right, step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale. And exhale. We'll do this again. Step the right foot not as far back. We turn to the back of the room. Boom. Hands behind the back, either reverse prayer, or you can bump your fists together, or just simply grab your wrists. Make sure those feet are about hip distance. Shoulders back, chest lifted. Start to hinge forward. It's pyramid pose. You may or may not get close to that shin with the nose. So let's try more so to lengthen forward with the upper body. Press down through the pinky toe of that right foot. Right, draw the shoulders and elbows back, continue to squeeze. Then we lift up, take an inhale, maybe bend in that right knee, pivot to the other side. If you need an extra breath, that's totally cool. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward over left leg. Good, and rise up, inhale. Open to that star position, open the arms, give your hands a little wiggle and shake. Step to the top of the mat. Hands at your heart, inhale. Let it go, exhale. Good. Balance is next. So balance, we'll do both balance poses and all the variations and forms. Start with our left leg grounded, left leg, right? Correct, left leg. Right knee, or grab the big toe with your peace sign fingers, extended. A little bend in the knee. Just find something that you were standing upright. Draw the abs in, shoulders back. If you've got the toe, if you would like to try this along with me, straighten through that left leg a bit more. Lean forward or try to pull your knee up towards your nose. It might touch, it might not, it doesn't matter. Find a drishti or a gaze point somewhere towards the ground, not moving. Lift the upper body again, so out of that fold. We take the leg out to the side. Keep the left hand rooted and locked onto that left hip. Right leg goes out to the side, not up high. We're not lifting up in the hip. Instead, it goes directly out to the side. Squeeze the glutes. A strap works here too. And then take your gaze over your left shoulder. If we fall out of this every so often, that's fine. It's good if you're hopping a couple times. Back to the center. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward once more, nose towards the knee. Lift out of that, inhale. Release the toes with the fingers or release the knee. Point the toes, extend the leg forward. Hold it. So you might be down here. You're still feeling the same thing as maybe me who was up here. So trying to keep that leg lifted as high as you can. So if it was higher, you could, it's up to you. But keep extending, point the toes. Feel the hip flexors, the quads, the core activate. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's been a while. I've been doing very chill practices, so this is fun to get a little bit of a strength and a workout in a yoga practice. All right, other side. Here we go. Knee up or grab the toes. Extend, pause. Activate through that right leg. Like make sure you can feel the glutes strong, legs strong, so no deep bend in the knee. We're lifted, lengthened. Fold it forward, hinge at the hips if you would like to add a little more. All right, come out of that fold, lift up tall again. Right hand glued to the right hip, left foot goes out to the side. And you can just have the knee still with bent leg. I see a lot of movement on the screen, that's okay. And if you're on carpet or somewhere that's less balance, the ability to balance is a lot harder, then I get that. Right, back to the center. Lean forward once more, take an exhale. Let that go, lift up, let go of the foot, point the toes, pause. Extend it, hold it. A little higher. You got it. Keep going higher. 3, 2, 1. Oh, whew. That shake out. It's just so good. Okay. Got one more balance pose, and it's our external hip rotation. We haven't done lots of hips so far, but this is the first chance to go, whoa, hello hips. So left leg stays down, right ankle goes up to your knee as the first option. Or you can grab the ankle and lift it up and just give it some like movement perhaps before you take the blade of the foot into the crease of the left hip. Half lotus. We'll take the knee and try to point it down. For a while, it might just be out to the side. See what happens. Just be mindful of the knee. We take that right hand around to find the arm or the big toe. And then there is a fold as a variation too, with the left hand touching the floor. If you've got the bind, if you've got the half lotus, but just know that being upright or staying in the balance of the figure 4 is still really awesome. It might be where we are today to feel the sensation that we need to feel. And rising back up, we gotta lift up, oh, let it go. See if we can do this slowly. Or maybe not so slowly sometimes. Other side. Pick up that leg, maybe give it some movement, rotation, and that blade goes to the crease of the hip. Left hand around the back, finding the arm or the big toe. And again, upright's cool, it's awesome. Or you take it down, forward fold. If you're folding, try to straighten up that standing leg. You're rising up, lift up out of it, carefully, and release. Good, we're gonna come back to the top of our mats. Standing tall, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step back or jump back. Chaturanga, keep exhaling. Inhale, heart lifts, up dog. Down and facing dog. As you complete this exhale, jump forward or step forward. Feet together, top of the mat. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms reach up, connected, shoulders soft. Look up towards the thumbs. If you still want that belly in rather than a big arch in the back, so you're gonna keep a straight line from the crown of the head, shooting back to the tailbone, that good diagonal line. Squeeze the knees together. Press the palms, and you can look up towards the hands. One more breath. Fold it down, exhale. So here, lift your heels, plant the palms, open the knees, and take them to the backs of the arms. Crow or crane pose. It's a quick one because it's just for the transition. We lift the feet, maybe step or hop back, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Step the right foot forward for your warrior one position. Back heel spins down, rise up. And we hold this one, 5 breaths. Look up towards the hands and press them actively together. Switch sides, straighten that right leg, pivot to the back of your mat. Keep looking up Adjust the feet as needed so there's a little bit wider right to left. And take your hands down to your hearts. Open those hips out to the right side. So you're gonna have to maybe step that back foot out just a bit more. Arms open wide, warrior two, gazing over the left fingers. You bend the left knee. Switch sides, straighten the left leg, pivot to the front, bend the right knee. Keep those arms up. I know you start to get fatigued. Press down through pinky toe of the right knee, keeping it from collapsing. And the transition here is to cartwheel the hands down or windmill the hands down, step back to plank pose. But you can add a handstand before that by taking hands reaching. Hands come down in front of the right foot, pick up the back heel, back foot, and we kick up. And you might want to try it a couple times if you've got the space. If not, just coming back to our vinyasa. Plank to chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Take those knees down, sit back in child's pose. That was our full standing series, apart from skipping a few sun salutations. So we did everything as directed without missing anything. And we're going to some seated poses next. But just enjoy this momentary break. Okay, sit back on your heels and roll yourself up. You can take your hands next to your knees, cross the ankles. See if we can press to lift the knees and slide or float through. Or you can bring your knees just around. Let's try this. Press down, lift the knees, slide through. So this is one reason I really love my Manduka mat, because it is sticky enough to help my hands stick, but it's slippery enough that I can slide through. So it's not a sticky mat for hot yoga. In fact, it really helps with the sliding through. A towel, a yoga towel can help as well. Let's take the legs straight in front of us. Sitting up tall, hands next to your hips. Draw the shoulders back, press down into the hands, down into the knees, even so much that you could lift the heels. A little tuck of the chin as you draw the head back. Dandasana, staff pose. Get down this next exhale, hinge forward, walk the hands forward, and grab your big toes. We'll do all three variations of our forward fold. So the first one, peace sign fingers, grab the big toes. Lengthen, inhale, exhale, pull forward. Nose towards the toes. And release for a moment, half lift, inhale. Take your hands over the tops of the feet, like we did in Padangusthasana or Padahastasana in the very beginning. So this time you pulled down, similar concept, you're just now seated. You lift up, half lift, inhale. Now take the hands around the sides of the feet and pull down. If you want to grab a wrist or bind up in some way, that works. Pulling down just farther than we did the first two forward folds. Toes still pull back. You're going to feel the calves a lot with that. And release that. Take your hands up. Hands behind you, point the toes. Fingers point towards the front of the mat. Point the toes. Lift the hips, reverse plank. Look up or slightly back. Try to get the big toes to touch the floor. If there's any knee issues here, bend the knees. Reverse tabletop. Right, lower back down. Hug the knees in, roll forward, step back to plank. Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. You can take the knees down and sit through again, or jump through the hands, cross the ankles and sit. Keep your left leg extended, right foot into the inner thigh. Janu Sirsasana. So you turn directly over the left foot, reach up, fold forward. And rising back up, switch sides. Left, right leg forward, left knee bent, foot to the inner thigh. Reach up, hinge forward. All right, lift back up. I'm just gonna switch sides again, left leg extended, right foot in. Let's take that right foot actually over the top of the leg, because we can. Lift tall, right hand behind you, left arm reaches up, twist, elbow to your thigh, or we hold on to the leg and look over right shoulder. Now there's probably a bind you could do here in some way as you wrap around, but just finding that twist and sitting up tall, find that place that works for you. And switch sides. Left hand down, right leg extended, right arm reaches up, elbow to the thigh, twist it, look back. And back to the center. Unwind everything, cross the legs again, roll forward. And you can always skip that because we're coming right back to seated again. So we do our vinyasa. And we jump through once more. And everybody's favorite, boat pose, Navasana. We'll do 3 today. You're gonna lift the legs. You can go bent knees or straight legs. Reach forward, lift the heart. 5. Remember, we're doing 3 of them. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross the ankles, pull in, do a little pickup. Maybe toes stay down, but we'll try to lift them up. And then do the second one. 5. Just lifted. 4. Squeeze the knees together. 3, 2, and 1. Pick it up. And last one. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Look up beyond the toes. And 1. Cross the ankles, roll forward, step back. Plank, chaturanga, up dog. Let's just pause there. And downward facing dog. Making our way to our backs. Walk forward, jump forward, sit through. That's a great cue, right? Anything that gets you back onto your bottom, roll it down. Bend those knees about hip distance apart, feet pressed down, palms down. Lift the hips, bridge pose. Squeeze the shoulders together. Keep your gaze up and chin tucked, but not enough so that the neck is pressed on the floor. Keep space between the neck and the ground. You can keep pressing into those hands or make a shelf with the hands. Little elbow shelf. And we've got 2 more back bends with a rest in between. So let's lower out of bridge pose. Pause for a moment, however that feels for you. And you take movement or just pause. So you can choose between that bridge pose again or a deeper variation of Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. For wheel pose, hands next to the shoulders, elbows point to the sky, press into the hands and the feet and lift the heart. You can head to bridge pose again, either way. And then lower back down. Little pause. And we're going to do one more. So bridge or wheel pose. Keep breathing. And lower back down. This pause on your back. Hug your knees in and rock from side to side. Take those legs straight up. Hands by your side. So you've got legs up the wall as a variation. Or we press into the hands, lift the hips up over the shoulders for shoulder stand. Press into the elbows, squeeze them in, lift the hips, legs straight up, hands to the mid back or just above the lower back. Shoulder stand. Anything where our toes are up, it should be more relaxing than anything. And then taking those feet behind you for plow pose, if you'd like to go there from legs up the wall or from shoulder stand. You could interlace the hands if your feet touch the floor or keep the hands on the low back if they don't. And then bending those knees so they're around the ears if you're in plow pose. Bent knees relaxed. And releasing your hands and everything, rolling down to the ground. Extend the feet forward. You can keep the legs together. Press into the elbows. Lift the upper body onto the forearms and lift the heart as you look up or back. Fish pose. You can take the head actually down to the floor as you press into the forearms or stay with head up. And then slowly lower back down. And we will conclude very shortly. Take our right knee in to our chest. Take the leg across the body for a twist. A simple twist will just be here a few deep breaths, just a couple to get that spine neutralized and our body feeling good. Bring that right leg back up to the center. Give it a squeeze in, hug the knee in, and then switch sides. Left knee hugs in. When you twist, you can hop or lift up onto that right hip. Extend the left arm, twist to the other side. Back to the center. Let's hug that left knee in, reset it, and then both knees in. A little rock side to side, or grab the feet for happy baby pose. And this is where we are going to conclude our practice with our Shavasana. So if there's any other poses you would like to practice or do before we head to relaxation, now would be the time. And I do hope you join for our Shavasana. It's great. Just break away from everything. You're releasing those feet and taking your time. So if you are, doing a different kind of pose right now and you want to hang out there for a while, awesome. I'm going to head into Shavasana, so feel free to join me when you are ready. Extending those arms, feet long, falling out to the sides. And we've got about 5 minutes. So enjoy this time of quiet, of peace, and allowing your body to melt and get heavy right where it's at. right, let's take a deep breath in and out, of course. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And in time, reach your hands overhead. Big long stretch to reawaken for your Saturday morning. Bend your knees and roll to a side. Pause. And then using your hands to press into them as you shift your way back up to a seated pose. Welcome to our conclusion of our on the mat yoga practice, hopefully taking our skills, what we learn about ourselves with us for our off the mat yoga practice. So let's take an inhale and reach those hands up. Connecting that all in, draw the hands down to your hearts. One deep breath in. Let it go. Next one for a book ending Om. Deep breath in. Om. And that finishes up our Ashtanga practice for this Saturday morning. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure practicing with you all. Namaste.